Hey, good afternoon, everyone, or good evening, depending on where you are, or good morning, I guess, depending on where you are as well. I'm Richard Byrne, and you're here for another edition of Practical EdTech Live, where I answer a bunch of questions that I've been sent over the last week. Today, I'm coming to you from Detroit. I'm here for the McCall Conference, or McCool Conference. McCool. McCool Conference, which starts tomorrow. Actually, started today with some pre-session workshops. But anyway, I'm in Michigan. I'm in Detroit, and that's where I am right now. And I'm going to answer all the questions I've gotten in the last week, and then anything that you want to send me as well. I'm happy to answer any kind of EdTech related question or any question about anything. Send me a question about life. I'll be happy to try to answer that one too, although I'm not exactly a life coach, so maybe not. All right, anyway. So the first question that I have came from Anthony. He just sent this in a few minutes ago, and he wrote, "What is the best way to send you websites for you to possibly post? I don't want anything in return. I just want to give you the option of posting the sites if you had not before." The best way to get in touch with me is to send me an email at richard@burn.media. That's the best place to get in touch with me. Try to keep it short and sweet. Tell me why I should check it out in a few sentences or less, and I'll get after it. Well, thanks, Anthony. Feel free to send me anything that you think is interesting or that you've used in your classroom. From time to time, I run guest blog posts as well. So Kim asked me about Metaverse. Can you share about using Metaverse to create an amazing race activity? She used quotation marks, not me. An amazing race activity. My first book is about creating mystery adventure quests, amazing race style, and this topic is of great interest. Thanks, Richard. So Kim, I actually just did this last week. Did you read my mind, or did I put it on my blog post? I can't remember. I actually did this last week for a school that I've been working with, the Sigsbee Charter School down in Key West, Florida. And I made an amazing race for them with their principal. The principal and I did it together, I should say. I didn't do all the work. The principal and I did it together. And we used Metaverse. For those who aren't familiar with Metaverse, it is a free service you can use to program augmented reality applications, augmented reality experiences, what they call them. Check it out at gometa.io. And the way that we set it up is we first wrote out a series of clues for teachers. This is for staff development, for a team building activity. We wrote out a series of clues, and we put those into the frames on Metaverse. Now, Metaverse lets you design your app or your augmented reality experience on a screen by screen or frame by frame basis. And so that's what we started with. We started with all our clues. And then we used the logic blocks that are in Metaverse. These are things that create if-then statements. We used the logic blocks for the staff to submit pictures and videos when they unlocked the clue or found the place that they had to go to in Key West. And so all those got gathered into a gallery on the Metaverse app, where we could then verify whether or not people found the right places and got to the right places during the amazing race. Now, if we had had more time to program it, we probably would have used, in addition to the image recognition feature in Metaverse, we probably would have also used the geofencing or the location-based services in Metaverse. We didn't do that. We just went with the logic block for pictures to make sure that the pictures were correct. But we could have used the logic block to set location as well. So that's how we did it, Kim. If you want to see, Kim, if you'd like to see, or anyone else would like to see the app that we created, now obviously it will only work in Key West, Florida. But if you'd like to see the logic that was used in it, just send me an email and I'll be happy to send you a copy of what we did. Or just search my name on Metaverse and you can find a copy of what we did as well. Because Metaverse does let you copy other people's experiences and modify them. So the next question came from Anthony again. Two questions from Anthony. Is there a free software program I can use to monitor my students' desktop computers? My answer to that is no. I wish I had a free one that I could really recommend, and I've tried some free ones over the years, and I haven't found a good free one that I would recommend. Uh, that said, if you're looking for a paid program, Go Guardian is the one that I like the most. And that, well, I should say I like the most and I'm the most familiar with is Go Guardian. I've tried out some various free ones over the years. The trouble with many of the free ones, and the reason why you don't find a whole lot of free ones to begin with, is that it's very expensive to run that kind of software. Also, a lot of privacy issues that go into it as well. So you don't see too many free software programs in that realm that solve that problem. Joy Santa asked me, is there a way in G Suite for a student to check off something from their own to-do list and have it disappear? I know of Forms Choice Eliminator, but that's for one form that many access, and that's not what I'm looking for. So, Joy Santa, what I would recommend is having your kids use Google Keep and use the to-do list function in Google Keep where they can check off tasks as they go through, and it doesn't disappear truly, just as a line go through it that says, yes, I've done this. Okay. And they can share their tasks with you. So if they've made a task list, they can still share it with you so you can see that they've checked things off, and they can as well see the things they've checked off. And Google Keep is a part of G Suite for Education. It is a core component. If you don't have it turned on, talk to your G Suite domain administrator. He or she can turn it on with one little click across, and everyone has access to Google Keep. It will work on students' phones, on their tablets, on their Chromebooks, on their MacBooks, on their laptops, wherever they access G Suite, it'll work. Amy asked me a question about Pocket Points. What do you think of Pocket Points? Are there apps that are better? Thanks. So for folks who aren't familiar with Pocket Points, it's a mobile app that gives you rewards for not using your phone. It gives you points for not using your phone at times like when you're driving or if you're in class. The concept is great. I love the concept. I think it's great. There are other apps that do the same thing. I don't think that any of them are distinctly better or worse than the others. So if you're using Pocket Points, great. I love the idea of it. A little bit of the teacher in me says kids shouldn't get prizes for doing what they should be doing anyway, which is paying attention in class. I'm not a big fan of rewarding you for doing what you should do. I'm not a big fan of giving you rewards for paying attention in class, but anything to incentivize not using your phone while driving, I'm all for that. Okay. So that's my thought about Pocket Points. Full disclosure, Pocket Points is tried many times to advertise on my blog, and I've turned it down because it doesn't really jive with my thoughts as a teacher about getting kids to pay attention in class. All right. So Liz had asked me about VR and AR apps and how we should use them in the classroom. She has said, what are the best VR and AR? What are the best apps for VR and AR, and how should we be embedding those in the classroom? That's a wide open, Liz. I don't know what grade you teach, what subjects you teach, so that's a hard one for me to answer succinctly. I'll say this. I like MergeCube. It's fun. For the folks who aren't familiar with MergeCube, hold one second. So MergeCube, I've forgotten this part, sorry. So MergeCube are these little cubes. They're foam. They have basically really fancy QR codes on them is what it boils down to. And there are dozens of MergeCube apps. I don't know why I put apps in quotation marks. There are dozens of MergeCube apps that you can get on your phone or your tablet. And when you scan the cube, you'll see interactive augmented reality experiences around them. Depending on your subject area, this could be really great. The depth of the content is pretty much elementary school, middle school. not a whole lot of high school use for these from what in my experience of them. Now, there are other augmented reality apps that are better for older ages. Some great AR chemistry apps where you can virtually combine chemicals to see how those would work. So that's kind of neat. In terms of virtual reality, Google Expeditions is great. Good starting place. If you're not familiar with Google Expeditions, get yourself a Google Cardboard viewer like this one. Costs $7 from Knox Labs. Go on Amazon, you'll find them for $7, $6. Actually, I just got some for $6. Check that out. The Google VR Tour Creator is fantastic because kids can make their own virtual reality tours and share them with you. Likewise, you can create your own and share them with them. So that's where I'd start, Liz. But again, I don't have a whole lot to go on with that. So editorial from Richard here. That I get a lot of questions like this, like what are the best apps for XYZ? The more information you can tell me, the better recommendation that I can give you. Speaking of which, Catherine asked me about a Google add-on to curve text, like in Word Art on Microsoft Word. So Catherine, you can actually use Word Art in Google Slides, and it doesn't curve, but you could insert one of the other shapes from the insert menu and fill text in along those shapes. So it does exist. It does exist in Google to do some word art. And I got another Google question. I get a lot of Google questions, which makes sense because I write about a lot of Google stuff. Sharon asked me, how can I change the name that appears on my Google account? That's real simple. Go to accounts.google.com. You'll sign into your account and you can change your display name. You can also change the email addresses associated with your account, the phone number associated with your account. And while you're there, if you ever decide you want to leave Google or completely delete one account and start a new one, you can use Google Takeout to download all your information. All the stuff that Google has about you, you can download it all in one big file and away you go. And that leads me to the last question that I got, which was about vetting of resources, or vetting of Google add-ons, I should say. I wrote a blog post and I sent out my Sunday night newsletter a couple weeks ago, 25 add-ons for G Suite users. And a lot of people wrote back to me, so I'm not going to associate this question with just one person. A lot of people wrote back to me with questions about vetting of the third-party add-ons for G Suite for Education. And how do you know that someone's not going to steal your data? And how do you know that someone's not going to, steal your information? Well, the reality is that Google does have a process of approval for add-ons for docs and slides and sheets, docs, slides, sheets, in there, forms. There is a process, and in fact, last spring, a lot of those add-ons got delisted, for lack of a better term, or disabled for a while because there were some new standards that Google put in place, and many of those add-ons didn't meet those standards. So some of our favorite add-ons were actually disabled for a while. And so it's not like anyone, I mean, I should say not anyone who has the coding skill could write an add-on and submit it. But it's a pretty lengthy process, and there is a reporting of it. That said, someone could still, go through all those steps. It'd be a lot of work. Go through all those steps, get their add-on approved, get a whole bunch of people using it, and then run off the data. I guess they could. Right? Be a lot of work. There are probably better ways to scam people out of information than doing that. But the bottom line is you kind of have to do your own homework and think about the information you're giving up, and if do your own cost benefit analysis of that. And the other thing I'll say is if there's an add-on you've installed and you decide that you're not going to use it or you're not using it very often, maybe you're using it like once a month, you installed it because you have to do one particular task at the end of every month or something, disable it. Just go to the add-ons menu, hit manage, and disable the add-on or remove the add-on and then put it back in when you need it again. try them out. If you don't like it, if it's just sitting there, if you go to your add-ons menu like I am right now, go to your add-ons menu and you see something that you're like, why did I install that? What does it do? Go in and delete it. That's the best thing to do. Okay. All right. Hey, Kathy says hi. I'm listening and learning. Janet says hello and yay, merge cubes. Janet said you can also use Apple Classroom for free. Kathy said she liked how I blogged about Microsoft's add-ons. Yes, Microsoft has a bunch of add-ins for Word and PowerPoint and Excel as well. I don't use Microsoft products as often as I use Google, so that list is a little bit shorter. But I'm trying. Cool. Janet also mentioned Dyno, D-Y-N-O-W, but it's not free. So that's that. So here's my merge cube. And last but not least, not a question I got this week, but a question I get a lot about audio. And unfortunately, there's like an annoying traffic whistle going on outside my room, so probably most of you are hearing that. I use this microphone all the time. It's called the Blue Snowball microphone, and works pretty darn well for the $40 that it costs. So that's that. All right, as always, if you have a question, a comment, a concern, or a derogatory remark, feel free to send it to me at richard@byrne.media. Again, that's richard@byrne, B-Y-R-N-E.media. And I'll be happy to help you out. And as always, a plug from the Shameless Commerce division of my life. The Practical EdTech Summer Camp is good, Kathy. Practical EdTech Summer Camp is happening in July 15th and 16th in Bethel, Maine. Sign up by the end of March to get the early registration discount. We have 10 seats left. Only 10 seats left. 10. If you need a PO or something like that to get registered, send me an email, richard@byrne.media. I'd love to have you join me. And if you want to learn more about it, go to practicaledtech.com and click on Summer Camp at the top of the page. All right, thanks everyone. Have a great week. Bye-bye.